What's up, YouTube? Brian here from Body by Brian Fitness. I just wanted to upload one more video today about a topic I've always wanted to talk about. It's actually a bodybuilder, I guess you could call him. Um, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Gregg Valentino. He apparently has the world's biggest biceps. Um, this guy's I mean, like I said in one of my other videos about Jay Cutler being immense when I met him, this guy is like a lot worse. I mean, not um not a whole lot of people really know about this guy, and he's been around for a long time. Like he's known for having the world's biggest biceps, and apparently, I mean, just Google image this guy one day. This guy is just. I looked his stats up on the internet like I do with any bodybuilder. He's very short. He's 5'5.5". Um, I think they said he's like 260 pounds or something like that. The main thing I want to get at here, and I know I only have 15 minutes for this video. Um, they say that he's the world's most controversial bodybuilder, and he gives bodybuilding a bad name. Um, if you've ever looked at some of his videos and interviews and stuff, he's a really nice guy, but like he says in those videos, the choices that he made were bad, and he regrets doing them or making those choices. But like I said, if you Google image that guy to see what he looks like, his body, they say that he gives the sport of bodybuilding a really bad name, and I agree wholeheartedly with that statement by people that say that. I mean, you look at guys, yeah, they take steroids and this and that. I talk about that in almost any of my videos or every one of my videos, but they say that, bodybuilding, everything has to be proportioned and stuff like that. With Greg Valentino, uh, he is far from being proportioned. I mean, you look at the way that guy is, he's got the world's biggest biceps. I mean, they look like two hams stapled together. I mean, they look just not right, you know. And he actually has this documentary up. I don't even know how he got famous. I know he's a writer for Muscular Development magazine. Um, he writes columns in there every single month for their magazines. But I think he was on I forgot what station it was, but he was on a documentary for something. He had his own documentary, the man whose arms exploded. You can YouTube it; it's all over YouTube. The full documentary. It talks about his personal life and stuff like that. This guy is just, I mean, he seems like a really cool guy that just made a lot of bad mistakes in his life. You know, um, he just he you know you look at his you watch that video, and it's just, he kind of was he talks about him being in trouble with the law and stuff like that. He kind of was asking for it. I mean, he talked about in the past how he used to be a drug dealer and how he used to be a black marketer, selling steroids on the street and stuff like that, and he got thrown in jail for that, and he just his kids left him because they didn't they were just ashamed to call him his dad and stuff, like, because of what he did. And he just he's a really, I guess, interesting character. um he's really, I don't even know what, he's always at those Arnold Classic shows and the Mr. Olympia shows and stuff like that that they carry every year. And like he said, he in that documentary when he talked about the decision about doing steroids, he said that, I'm a nice guy. I just have done bad things in my life, which is, true. He did do a lot of stupid things in his life, but I think for, you know, I mean, I see these videos about him on the internet and look on his website. He's a very, very funny guy, but, he just, I'm trying to think of a good way to describe this guy. He's not really, very well known in bodybuilding. So I mean, some of the guys that I talk to at the gym that I'm friends with, some of them never even heard of him, which I'm, a little shocked by. But I think um, it's just really, you know, if I've ever met this guy in person, I wouldn't know what to think. He like I said, I looked his stats up on the internet. He's 5'9", 5'5" and a half, 260 pounds, I think now, and his body is obviously out of proportion. Now, just picture that in your head for a minute. It doesn't add up. Um, I'm gonna get to the main point here of this video. Um, if this stretches to 15 minutes, whatever. Um, I think what was I gonna? Oh, like I said, Google image him and see like some of the pictures. Just type Greg Valentino, Greggg, I think. There's two G's, Greg Valentino. Look him up on the internet, Google image him, you'll see what I'm talking about. You can't pass him up. You'll know who I'm talking about. Um, he, you know, he's he's a funny guy. He always says like he just he made a lot of bad mistakes in his life. There's actually a story when I watched that. There was a documentary that he made, Greg Valentino, the man whose arms exploded, which they did, I guess. They talked about how he got that kind of look. He said in that documentary he was injecting steroids, and I guess part of that look is from an infection. Apparently, he was injecting the steroid into his arm, and the needle popped off. He picked it up, just blew it off, and stuck it back in his arm without disinfecting it, and that's how it got infected. There's like a big, like like on this side of his arm right here, it's like all brown, like a, but um, he also talked about how like just I don't want to get too involved in it. It's pretty pretty bizarre, but he's talking about how he doesn't want to be like a role model to other people, um, and who can blame him for that? Look at what he did with his life. There's this in his personal life. He was dating this one woman. I don't know if she was Mexican or what I can't remember. She died of a drug overdose in 2000, and that was really like the only real woman he's had in his life. She was heavily involved in drugs actually, and just she was just a really, hardcore badass woman, I guess, and I don't mean that in a good way. Um, she, she's been to jail 5 times. She's done all these really, all these really bad crimes and stuff like that. And it's like when he didn't talk about much about their relationship other than what her background was. And he said that in 2000 she died of a drug overdose. And it's like after that happened, kind of his life went into like a downward spiral after that. Um, I'm kind of doing an odds and ends thing about what he's like, but he's just a really straight. If you ever watched the movie Bigger, Stronger, Faster with Chris Bell, the director, it's an amazing movie. It's about steroids and pro sports. Um, his, you know, he's actually in a deleted scene in that movie. Um, he's a very funny guy, but I just think it's funny how he says that he doesn't want to be considered a role model for what he did, but he loves attention. He loves, you know, maybe those two are completely unrelated, but he loves attention and stuff like that at the same time. I don't like I as strange as it sounds, I would love to meet this dude because he seems like he seems like a cool guy, but like just someone that would talk, you know, openly about what he's done in his life and just say, hey, don't do what I did, you know, learn from me, learn from my mistakes. Um, but you know, I know he has kids. He has, I know he has one son. He has an estranged relationship with his son, and that really hit him hard simply because of his drug use. And I believe in that The Man Whose Arms Exploded documentary that he was in, he talked about how his son said he was an embarrassment. His Greg was like an embarrassment to be or it's an embarrassment to call him a father or something like, you know, and it's, you know, a lot of people, you know, look at him for uh, who he is, what he's known for. No one really knows. No one really knows like what he is outside of bodybuilding. I kind of have a clue, but I don't. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling on again here. I just think with Greg Valentino, he's um, a very unique individual. I guess. I mean, he not someone I would look up to. You know, if it's someone I'd look up, if he was someone I would look up to, I'd look up to him as someone to not, you know, this is what I shouldn't be doing. Um, you know, he doesn't, you know, he's learned from his mistakes. He actually got thrown in jail in 2000. Finally, the cops caught him in a hotel room. I don't know what he was doing, if he was injecting stuff or what, and he got arrested for it in 2000, and he got jail time for it. But he's just a really strange individual. For people that want to actually look up uh, to learn more about him or look him up on Google, type Greg Valentino, not the rapper, but like Greg Valentino, the bodybuilder, and look him up. You'll see what he looks like, know who I'm talking about, um, and also like look up the documentary on YouTube, "The Man Whose Arms Exploded." Uh, it's maybe a three-part movie. I don't know if they have the full version of it on there, but it's like a three-part movie that you can watch on there. I watch it every now and then just for side knowledge, I guess. I don't know, but he's a he's a really strange guy. You gotta look this guy up.